Hey guys, it's Kevin with Watchhimtrade.com. Today's date is May 9th, 2015. This will be a video chart on Yelp, YELP. Yelp had a wild week this week, reported earnings, and the stock tanked very hard. You can see that's the big gap down here. But then some buyout rumors started happening later in the week. Reports that Yelp even hired some advisors to help them find a buyer for their public shares. So that then rocketed the stock back up, and more or less by the time the end of the week rolled around, it's like nothing ever happened because you were just right back at where you were last week. So what now, right? First of all, let me say my personal opinion is Yelp will get bought out. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I just think there's a lot of smoke with this. I use Yelp a lot. I've followed the stock for a while. I've been in and out of it from time to time in a long-term account, and I just have always felt like the stock would be better suited as a private company than a public company. That's just my personal opinion. You know, take it for what it's worth. But that's what I think. Do you think they get bought out? So, with all that said now, technical picture. You're right around 50 bucks. Nice setup here relative to 50 bucks. I think that, you can see you filled the gap up, you filled the gap down to the upside right away pretty quickly. Didn't take long at all, and I bet a lot of people are probably caught on the wrong side of this. So now if you can stay up around $50 here, I kind of like the upside potential to set up for more of a squeeze and test these highs from before earnings, which was at $52.50, and if you can get above $52.50, I like it for further upside towards the highs from early February around 55 towards 57. So that's the setup if you can stay around 50. But if you are backing away from 50, then that's where you can sell off back down towards 45. And I want to go to a 3-minute chart to show some of the afternoon lows to pay attention to. And starting with this low that it put in right around 230, it was just underneath 49 bucks. Okay, that level is 48.67. So if you can come below 48.67, I think you can give up Friday's gain back down towards 47 bucks, which was the base of Friday's little gap up. You could see Friday was just a gap and run type of day. All right, so below 48.60, look for a move down towards 47. 47 is key as far as, can it hold 47 and then trend back up, or do you lose 47 and just really give up a good chunk of the gains you made off of these buyout rumors and come back down towards 45, where then at 45 that would then be another nice round level where you have an over under 45 set up. Hold 45, you can come back up. Below 45, you can go down towards 40. But again, if you get to 45 from 50, you've already had a nice 10% drop in shares, so that would be a nice short trade there. Now, if you are holding, like I said, around here, if you're holding above that 48.60s, to be clear to me, as long as you stay above this afternoon low around 230, that is at $4.60, $48.67, then to me, I would say that that is staying around 50 bucks. All right. So if that happens, I view this as net bullish activity and setting up for a move back up towards the highs above 50 bucks. 52.50 mentioned that, and above 52.50 mentioned that it could go towards 55. With a name like Yelp, I would not be in anything overnight. All right, that's just my personal opinion again, because what could happen is you could get a pre-market or after hours announcement that they did get bought out, or they are no longer looking to get bought out, and the stock is going to gap 10, 20, 30%. Who knows how much, and who knows which way it'll go, right? So unless you've really done your fundamental research on this, and you're not just reading the blogosphere or getting opinions on Twitter, would stay very far away from overnight positions. As you can see from the last 2 days, no shortage of activity on an intraday basis, right? And then that was off of the upside. Well, if you go back a little bit further, you had no shortage of intraday activity to the downside, even with a gap down. So this was some earnings activity. Sorry, just scrolling back here. All right, so you can see this is when the gap down happened. That's on April 30th. But look at that. Awesome move. You gapped down to 42 and you ended up printing 39s later in that day. Next day you opened around 39.70, printed 38.70s, then recovered. So you've had all types of intraday activity both ways. It was only 2 days ago that the rumors came out and the action started more or less just going one way, and that was to the upside. So no shortage of opportunity intraday. That's why I don't think it makes sense to have an opinion on an overnight basis, because you could get really burned with this thing if you guess wrong.